Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Too Heavy Wrestling Podcast. Add Zach, add in the air horns. Alright, cool. Clayton, Randy, that's Eddie, and that's Zach. Forgot his name for a second. We're got a full house here. We're here to talk about our favorite moments of 2023 and bold predictions of 2024. And Clayton wanted to kick us off. So, Clayton, just dive in. Let's hear it.
My top 3 favorite moment of the year of our Lord 2023. Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns in the center of the ring. Roman needed to take a pin.
Ice in my veins.
The last recorded one in history was Baron Corbin at the death of the big dog. And then you had other characters with non-working Achilles saying that they also technically pinned Roman Reigns after that. Xavier Woods, if you didn't know. And that cannot slide with the aura that he has now. But it is important for the storytelling of wrestling that he has to take a wrestling loss.
Yeah.
My bold prediction for 2024, Jey Uso will not only have a world title reign, he will have a world title reign that goes at least 3 months.
Wow. Which,
Only
questions, right? We'll ask questions. Which world title?
It's going to be the world heavyweight.
Big gold? Well, new big gold?
New big gold.
I'll add on to your hot take. It'll be the first person that beats CM Punk.
Ooh.
I like that.
That's spicy, bro.
I like that.
That's tough.
Randy's turn.
All right. Top moment of 2023.
Hit it.
Probably right now has to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens winning the tag team belts in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. That's for sure in my top 3. Thoughts?
I find no fault with that. That was a great, no matter what everybody's saying in 2020 hindsight about who should have main evented what, because even Sheamus is saying something now about how he should have been in the main event, that nothing was better than an Intercontinental Championship match.
I saw that.
The exuberance that I felt as a casual Sami Zayn fan, that he got to win something on a big stage, maybe not necessarily what we wanted for him or wanted out of him at this point.
Good enough for me.
But he got the big win on the big stage, and that is intrinsically as valuable as winning a belt, a singles major title, to me.
I agree. And then bold prediction for 2024. I don't think Cody gets a world title in 2024. I don't think he gets it. Something about all of this CM Punk Rock stuff going on, compounded by the Hogan's title run in September. Like, just there are a lot of things. I'm not going to say too many, because I could definitely see him, finishing the story, all that stuff. But if I'm going to make a bold prediction, I think a very plausible one is that Cody Rhodes still goes through the entirety of 2024 without winning a world title.
Not going to be able to finish the story if you keep bringing in all these old people.
That's true.
Trust me, they're hunks. No one's... The Rock's a hunk.
But you know who will help you finish the story? Today's sponsor.
All right, Edward,
Eddie's turn.
take us forward.
My favorite moment is technically Randy's, but I'm just going to move down the line then, is when Sami Zayn turned on our tribal chief at the Royal Rumble. Regardless of if he got the snot kicked out of him afterwards, he started the trend. He started exactly what he needed to do to get away from the bloodline and create his own story. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story in the WWE. And I feel like Sami Zayn, though did not win, again, leading up to WrestleMania, that's the perfect way to kind of combine him and Kevin Owens back and stomp the bloodline out because, hey, Jimmy and Jay still were at the top of the mountain for their respective tag team division as well. My hot take is Jade Cargill in her first match is going to get pinned.
Ooh, do you have any idea by who?
Rhea Ripley.
In a title match?
I think in a title match, yes. Because I think...
This also saying that you think she wins the Rumble?
I think she's going to win the Rumble. That is correct.
It's like a compounded 2-for-1.
Yeah, I do think she's going to win the Rumble.
Oh, that's tough. I don't know.
I got a hotter take on this list, too. So
Well, we'll save it for round 2. Zachary?
One of my favorite moments of 2023 was being there live for the start of the Feeling Usi chant.
Ooh. Such a good moment.
It was a good moment, and I liked being there
lovely.
live for it too, because you could feel how everybody just broke down into tears laughing about it.
it was awesome.
Was that in 2020?
No, I don't
I'm
think
gonna
that's in
unfortunately have to throw the challenge flag on that
I thought
because
that was
the end of
December.
22.
I thought that was December 2022.
Our 2023 Raw, we did witness Bianca Belair KOD Dewdrop. She was Dewdrop
Yeah.
at the time.
Okay, so then the scratch here thing I just said then.
Great.
Okay, well, I'll just throw one of my favorites in there for this year then is CM Punk's return.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Nothing much to say about it is that I've always been a Punk fan, and seeing him back in WWE is something that I always hoped for. So, one of my hot takes for 2024 is that at some point in the year we will see MJF in WWE.
Pretend that was a boner.
No.
Because I'm very intrigued because what I could see happening, I don't think MJF's leaving AEW yet if you
I don't either.
keep with all the lore. I do think when his contract is up, which I don't know when his contract is up, but I know
January
it's this year.
1st.
It's up as
Oh,
of
it is
now.
January 1st.
Yeah,
maybe
his
he is
contract
leaving
is technically up.
So to elaborate, I think he re-signed with AEW already.
I think so too.
And it's just not being said because of the storyline right now because Undisputed Kingdom has completely thrown him off TV. So I think it's just for a surprise return. But my hope is that he would be a surprise entrant in the Rumble. But, yeah.
How crazy would it be if he convinces WWE to let him be in the Rumble without signing a contract, and then he goes to the Rumble, loses it, and then shows up on Dynamite that week? How crazy would that be?
Tony Khan would never let that happen. However, he will sign 500 stars and then not use any of them.
Round 2. Fight.
Round 2.
My number 2 top moment of the year of our Lord 2023. The Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. That is the best triple threat match that I have seen since the Triple H redacted
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels triple threat. Like, I have not seen a triple threat that good until this past year.
Fantastic match.
Top to bottom, 0 holes in it.
Yeah.
My number 2 bold prediction that does have a couple layers to it.
Okay.
WWE and TNA will merge this year.
No.
That's been a
TNA
big thing.
will keep their branding. They'll still be their own thing. But you would essentially see on paper what NXT is It's just called TNA.
Well, I
also think sit ahead layers.
Oh, I'm
Randall.
sorry. Go ahead and finish your lasagna.
Oh my god! I'm excited because you know who could be in the WWE that I've always wanted to see in the WWE.
ODB.
Somebody wasn't expecting that answer.
I was.
Oh yeah, Motor City Machine Guns for sure.
Oh my god!
But layers.
Trinity will Forbidden Door
Okay.
at Women's Rumble
With the title.
This year? Hold on.
this year.
Yeah. Like Mickey did last year.
Hardcore country. Sorry.
And then
Dixie Carter goes into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Ew! What the hell?
this year, go away.
Get the hell out.
That's not happening. Gross.
That's a hot take.
Gross. Not because I think Dixie Carter's bad, but because she has nothing to do
Dixie
with
Carter
WWE.
sucks.
Yeah, each his own, but all right. Gross. What was I going to... Oh, my thought on the TNA thing. I've been saying over the last couple months that I could see WWE doing to TNA what AEW did for ROH.
Yeah.
Just owning it, but letting it be its own thing and giving it better production and such.
I just had a thought on my head that I want to pitch to Clayton, though. Josh Alexander versus Ilya Dragunov.
I can only be so erect.
That's not true, given our sponsor.
But thanks to the helpful hand of our new
Bush's
sponsor,
beans.
All right, my second favorite moment of 2023 has to be The Miz turning face.
Ew.
And I know I'm alone in that. I know what you're saying. I know I'm alone in that. I love The Miz as a face. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I think he connects with the fans very well. I think the fans want to see him be face occasionally. Because the thing about Miz being face is that it's never going to last long. This isn't even my bold prediction. This is probably just a fact. This time next year, Miz will be heel again. But it's good for him to kind of reset every once in a while. My bold prediction, my second bold prediction for 2024 is that there's only one man who's carrying his belt into this year that will carry it into next year, and that's Gunther. I don't think Gunther's losing the Intercontinental title this year.
It's so hard to, like...
Because who's going to do it? Other than Roman, who's going to do it?
Ilya Dragunov at Bash at Berlin.
That is a good match. I could see that being a fantastic match. I just don't think that they'll put...
But at the same time,
They
when is
already did.
Ilya losing that title? To Trick?
Yes, because Trick and Mello is a year-long program.
Yeah, that
in
could be.
NXT, and that is insane to say right now.
Could you imagine him getting as over as he actually is?
Yeah. Well,
It's crazy.
that's my stuff. Edward?
Honestly, when LA Knight, one of my greatest moments of the year, when LA Knight cut off Roman during his entrance, that was
Great choice.
that is how you put someone over.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Add on to
That just
that, the glasses moment.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
the glasses picture. Just walks past Roman.
Yeah.
He's on God mode. Hopefully he pins Randy Orton to win the title. Just kidding. That was a prank. My hot take is DIY will win the tag team titles this year.
I hate that is a hot take.
I hate
or
that
a
it's
bold
a hot
prediction,
take too.
but it is.
Well,
100% is. And I think that if you were to take any tag team and have them right now beat the Judgment Day, I think if you're going for storyline purposes, DIY makes the most sense. In terms of, like, they went through all this, like, just injuries, setbacks, so on and so forth, just to lead to this moment.
Yeah.
Now, do I think it can be at WrestleMania? Probably not.
That's a latter half of the year prediction.
Very much. But I think it will be at a bigger pay-per-view. Now, definitely not the Royal Rumble. Honestly, Mania makes the most sense.
I
if
would
it
have
were to
said
happen.
SummerSlam. That's a SummerSlam type one.
I just couldn't see Judgment Day holding it that long.
It doesn't have to be Judgment Day they take it from.
I think it'd mean more.
Yeah.
I think it'd mean more if they took it off Judgment Day. So that is my hot take. Still not my hottest, but my hot take.
Zachariah.
Another moment from 2023 that was my favorite was recreating the World Heavyweight Championship. Not getting Big Gold back was a blow, but in getting some form of iteration back of that belt, I think that's the best second choice.
If you go back and listen to me talk about that belt, exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. I was displeased at the time that we didn't get Big Gold that I wanted because everyone knows that's my favorite title belt design of all time. But I was also right in that looking at this belt long enough, it grew on me. And I feel like it grew on the fans too. And now I feel like it's a fan favorite belt. And I'm not upset by that. I do think now, being half a year, almost a year removed from the debut of it. No, half a year is more accurate. It did grow on me. I like the belt. I don't like it as much or more than original Big Gold, but I do like it. It's a good belt.
You look like you had thoughts, Clayton. Okay. So moving into my hot take for 2024. It's a hard one, but I'm trying to put it into words. I can't put it to an exact idea, but I think post WrestleMania we're gonna get the most changes we've gotten in WWE in years. From almost everything A to Z. I just feel like they're gonna make it a reset button. With the Endeavor purchase and everything like that, I feel like that's where they're going to actually hit, like, this is where it starts, and we're going to get a revamp of some sort, whether it be championships, whether it be sets, whether it be how the shows ran, whatever it is. I think that's going to be what we get.
I understand what you're trying to say. It's because this is going to be the first full calendar year under Triple H and under Endeavor.
Yeah.
And you're basically what you're saying is when we get to the end of 2024, it's going to look very different than how we've seen it in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand what you're
In
saying.
what way, I can't put it on the tip of my tongue yet, but it will be a different landscape than we are currently seeing.
Do you think any of it will feel classic? Do you think we'll go back to like Attitude Era stuff, or do you think it'll be fresh, all new?
It depends on how much, in terms of backstage, that we're actually getting told the truth of. If we do have full creative control under Triple H, if we have different producers and stuff like that because Kevin Dunn's not there anymore, and we get a different dynamic, then yes, I think that we might go back to how things possibly were, but in the good ways.
Okay, I could see that. You want to start round 3?
I can't stop thinking about Impact stuff now.
That'll.
And I sat up more for hot take. But my number one top moment of the year of our Lord 2023. Bad Bunny's walkout at Backlash.
Oh.
That, for as long as recorded on television wrestling history is, that is a top 3 walkout of all time. Argue with a wall.
Yeah.
My number one bold prediction for the year of our Lord 2024. When Roman breaks Hogan's record, he is going to break it and lose the belt the first SmackDown after he breaks it.
All right, he broke it. Get the belt off of him.
But given his final boss aura, when the day that he loses the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, he will have also been a concurrent United States champion and one half of the SmackDown Tag Team champions, and he is going to lose all 3 belts on the same day.
So you think they just wrapped all the titles into the bloodline up until that point?
You just made a SmackDown versus Raw ass.
I was going to say, yeah.
Because here's the thing. Roman is the guy. He is Ash Ketchum at the top of Mount Silver and Pokemon Crystal. You've already beaten the Elite Four. You've beaten the Elite Four a second time. You finally get to the final boss, and that's Roman, and the entire roster is going to beat him down.
Just dominates.
The entire roster is going to beat him down, and he is going to drop every belt.
How funny would that be? Ooh, thoughts?
It's just not a world I think we're going to have.
It's the titles is where you lose me.
Yeah.
I could see them having him drop the belt as soon as he beats Hogan's record, like the next week or whatever. I don't, and that's why it's a bold prediction, but I don't see how they put all the titles on him.
Easy. Out of like the other 2 titles that he could have, the United States title is the least problematic.
Oh, for sure.
So that can easily get over to Roman, because Logan Paul, for his short time in doing this, is fantastic. He's better than I thought he ever would have been.
Oh.
Him holding a mid-card title is offensive, because that tells me you don't take the title seriously as a company. It's just, here, go do this, because he's not bringing any notoriety to the title.
No.
Right?
No.
So you can easily get that one over to him. The only way I see him and Solo with whatever the 3-person rule is, so that any of that amalgamation of 3 can defend the belts.
The Freebird rule.
The only way that gets over to Roman is if they split the tag belts, which they're going to split the tag belts.
Actually, you could get the United States belt on Roman by Logan Paul or whomever is holding it at the time just being super overconfident and challenging Roman for his belt, and Roman laughing at him. And then Logan or whomever is like, I'll put my belt on the line if you will, and to make it a winner-takes-all match.
I don't see Logan doing that. I see KO doing that.
Someone, yeah.
Given him and Roman's history. But the way I see the tag titles getting onto the bloodline is you split them. Once you split them, on SmackDown right now, legitimate heel teams that could hold the belt. AOP and Karrion Kross. It's not whatever Santos pulls out, whether that's Legagmo or some variation of it.
Maybe Street Profits.
No, their stock has never been lower.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe.
They're not even a maybe. They're
the only saving grace is that they've already been tag champs. If they had never done it, then it would be an absolute 0.
If LWO kind of veers in the heelish direction, maybe, but you don't have anybody else from a heel perspective to hold SmackDown tag team titles that it would be legitimate.
Yeah.
Without having to do, as heels, the babyface thing where you just keep overcoming challenges and you still remain champions. That doesn't work in tag teams. So you throw it on Roman, give it a little bit more legitimacy before he drops that off to whoever.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, we'll see if that happens. I could see the Hogan thing happening. All the titles, that's going to be tough, but... All right, well, my favorite moment of 2023, and it's early on, but I was really happy that it happened because it finally showed an example of WWE listening to the people, taking the temperature of the room, and just making the right decision. Cody winning the Rumble. Because there was a big thing about if Cody was or wasn't going to win it, and if it was going to be a Daniel Bryan situation where he was supposed to win it, he was the hottest commodity that year, and then Batista does, like all that stuff. My favorite moment was seeing an example of WWE being able to do the right thing and give Cody Rhodes the Rumble win.
I really thought you were going to say Nia Jax returning based on how you propped that up.
At the Rumble?
No. Yes, but no. It's Nia Jax bit aside. Yes, Cody winning the Rumble is my favorite moment of the year.
Would it still have been your favorite moment of the year if we definitively knew when the Rumble was happening, he wasn't going over at Mania?
Didn't really affect it, no. Because it depends on what happens at Mania this year. Because if you want to do a year and a half long storytelling where you add the biggest road bump you can, but then he overcomes it at the next year, meaning this year's WrestleMania, then sure, you just have to be really patient about it. But him losing at Mania doesn't change that Rumble was mine. And even if I had thought he was going to lose at the Rumble, it still is my favorite moment because too many times have we seen the wrong person win the Rumble. And I like that they got it right this time. My bold prediction of 2024, my last bold prediction of 2024 is I think women's wrestling is going to elevate to a level above the men's mid-card. I don't like the phrasing because it makes it sound like women's wrestling is lesser than men's wrestling. But if you think of the hierarchy as it is right now, I think that with the exception of Gunther and the Intercontinental title, because that's just an asterisk title run at this point, the normal levels of the Intercontinental and United States Championship, I think women's wrestling is going to rise above that and be as close to or achieve equalness to the men's main event. I think this year for women's wrestling is going to be insane.
Is it because of Jade Cargill?
Jade Cargill will help it, but it will not be because of her. She will help it, but it will be because Trinity might come back and do some stuff there. You never know what's going on with Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks. She could make some sort of return this year. Charlotte is out of the way. And is out of the way right now long enough that the rest of the roster can really just level up. And then towards the end of the year, she can make her return and put the icing on the cake, if you will. But I think women's wrestling this year is going to elevate very high.
Now, something I actually just thought of and just realized. There is a certain wrestler who just left Impact where it's like, wow, she actually left Impact? That being Deonna Purrazzo.
Mm-hmm.
Before you go further, did you see AEW this week?
I did see AEW this week.
Okay.
And then, yes, she did just sign with AEW. Do you think that had anything to do with those potential rumors? Because she initially said, I want to be with Impact. She got the most, I guess, she got the most going on with Impact. Is Jordan Grace a part of Impact still?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. That could be a huge, huge piece, too.
That would be a huge get for WWE.
Absolutely. No,
She would do. Jordan Grace going to WWE would do for WWE what everyone thought Jade Cargill would do.
I hate to keep using him. That is literally a female Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. 100%.
Throw everyone. Okay.
Alrighty.
For me, my last favorite moment of the year was a little tough. And I don't think a lot of people would have this as their moment. The Ricochet and Logan Paul Money in the Bank spot.
That was a good spot.
In my opinion, it was just more how, and I know it wasn't their fault they made it look like it, but at the same time, kind of how real it looked. That was like a hands on my head type moment to just be like, what the hell? So I thought that was a perfect way to do it. At the same time, one of my least favorite moments was in that match too, that being LA Knight not winning his briefcase. Still hate it, but that spot overcame that. So that was nice. My bold prediction is me saying it like this. I agree with Clayton. Roman is going to lose the title after he breaks the record, and the man he's going to lose his title to is CM Punk.
Ooh. So CM Punk just doesn't win a world title all the way until then?
Nope. I don't think the world title is going to be involved with them at WrestleMania, personally. I would hate if they did that because, again, I'm not a big... I just don't think he should have that title. It's just too soon.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Looking at it objectively, he's not in the World Heavyweight title picture at WrestleMania. What is CM Punk doing?
He's still fighting Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins not going to have that title. I don't think he's going to have that title going into Mania.
Okay. Second question.
And I think it may be because of Punk that he doesn't have that title.
Valid. I could see that. Regarding your bold prediction, specifically, to me, that would imply that you have then CM Punk winning Money in the Bank.
Potential.
Because do we as a group collectively think they're going to do anything draft-like this year? Because I don't see any value in that.
If they do, it'll be... And when was the last one?
The month after WrestleMania.
Yeah. Maybe.
The only reason I say they will is because they're doing the GM situation again.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
Because they had CM Punk sign to Raw. They had Randy sign to SmackDown.
Yeah. I think that's... You know what? That's a good point. I think they're more likely to do a draft now than they were even last year.
Because we still had a mix of Vince booking and Triple H booking. I think Triple H always liked the draft idea, and I think it just always got foiled by Vince McMahon booking.
I want to do a Raw roulette draft
so nice.
Lottery where we get the spinning wheel and it's random
do
names. That'd be funny. I loved that.
Besides the point, now that I got the Impact point brought on to me, now a realistic thing is Wesley finally has a purpose. And
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a few little rascals join him.
As long as he comes back to wrestle.
Please. Oh, yeah, but I still think there is the potential that, hey, Zachary Wentz, I thought it was just a matter of time. Trey Miguel sweetens the deal a little more. That group is just too dang good. I don't care. You can put him against the frickin' AOP. The Rascals can still get it done. Sue me, I guess.
Crazy.
If the panel will allow me a bonus bold prediction.
I have a bonus bold prediction
Bunch
too.
of filthy little
I haven't even
rascals.
finished my last
But
one.
we should let Zach finish first, and then I have a bonus one too.
All right. My favorite moment of 2023 was the Endeavor purchase of WWE.
Solid choice.
For many reasons, which are still unfolding. One, it seemed as if they almost bamboozled Vince McMahon.
Which was awesome.
Kind of knowing the impeding ending of his situation to kind of get him to get it done. And of course, Kevin Dunn slowly following after, knowing he wasn't a Vince McMahon guy anymore. A lot of dominoes are falling into place, and they'll continue falling into place through this year. So that's my favorite moment of 2023. My final bold prediction of 2024 is two-parted, but it is involving the same person. Logan Paul will win either the Money in the Bank or a world title this year.
That's disgusting.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, that's
And
definitely
it won't
on the
be
table.
The WWE title, it'll be the world heavyweight.
Yeah, that is on the table for sure. Yes. I could see that being the case. Do you think he takes on a heavier schedule? Do you think he becomes more full-time?
If it gets to that level, yes. Much like what he's doing with the United States Championship, where he's using his social media aspect of it to show it off to more people. That's why I think he's more likely to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Because it's a bring it everywhere situation. And his antics that he's done already, a part of WWE, makes him a perfect candidate as a surprise jump-in, cash-in. Whether he wins after that cash-in and both of my prophecies come true, that's a different story. But I think that is my bold prediction of 2024.
I do see that as more likely than some of these other predictions we've said. I don't think that's completely off the table. Even if it doesn't happen this year, I think next year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about what's going on now is that I can't necessarily predict what happens past Mania, honestly.
I can't either.
We can play fantasy all day, but we honestly don't have a valid prediction for anything past Mania. And even right now, even up till Mania, it still seems pretty off right now.
I would say, honestly, the only valid thing is Roman breaking Hogan's record.
I mean, that's the most probable thing if he loses at Mania. But I'm saying if he loses at Mania, then what happens? You know.
Right. Or Gunther doing something big at Bash in Berlin. There are little bits and pieces that we can kind of early predict, but like, who does he face or when does Roman lose the title? Like, it's the details that we can't quite piece together
I feel
yet.
like all of the things we said are probably on the table for
sure.
Most of their storytelling predictions or whatever. There could be some we're not talking about at all that completely swerves us into a different path. But
well, before we jump out of here, did you want to say your bonus bold prediction first, or did you want me to do mine?
I'm going to say it, but I need you to knock on this wood with me because I hope this one's wrong.
All right, ready?
Wesley will retire after this year.
Why? What for?
do you know what's going on with him?
Back injury
Nope.
is
That
tough.
back injury,
That is hard to come back from.
If it was literally, let me sit up so I can actually talk to the mic proper. If it was any other kind of injury with his size, his stature, the way that he works in the ring, I don't care if he's out for 18 months, he's going to come back. A back injury on a small person is just going to make an young, old, injured person.
Almost Tyson Kidd-like?
Yes. He should not have been in the ring on the cerebral palsy crutches saying he's going to be out for a year. Because if he does not come back at least 90% of what he was, like that's the most his athletic born ability could decrease by. If he does not come back as 90% minimum what he was, he's not the same wrestler.
Yeah.
And if he's not the same wrestler, there is not a place for him in this WWE. He's already a disadvantaged weight, a disadvantaged height on a disadvantaged show, developmental NXT.
Yeah.
You can't have all three of those and have a game-stopping injury like a back.
Yeah.
Back, neck on a small guy. Again, I really hope this is not true, but that's all I saw when he was in the ring. He's never going to wrestle again.
He's supposed to be in Dragon Lee's spot right now.
Yes. And as WWE history has shown us, You just have to be out of the way at the right time, and your spot's gone.
Yeah.
The amount of setbacks that dude has already had to deal with in his career.
Kofi Kingston literally winning the WWE title because Mustafa Ali got injured. Crazy.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm getting
insane.
physically sick just saying that, but that's what I thought.
My bold prediction will probably make you feel better. My bold prediction is that Damian Priest will fail his cash in.
That would make me happy.
I don't know if that'll make you happy, but only because both world titles right now are so involved and integral in the storylines that they are, that it's going to be, because we're already storylining and fantasy booking these titles through Mania, there's not much time left in order for him to actually cash it in at a time that doesn't also just hamper a storyline.
I have another hot take to finish this out.
Oh, that's good. But that's mine. I think it's a very real possibility that Damian Priest either fails his cash in or fails to cash in and just doesn't.
Mine ties into yours.
Okay.
A lot of people have taken Damian's current run as the Money in the Bank holder as lackluster.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and I don't say this including me, but a lot of people have been on the opposite side of the fence. When we've talked about Money in the Bank before, we've talked about it replacing other pay-per-views.
Yeah.
A lot of people are wondering if Money in the Bank is needed anymore.
I think it's a cool gimmick, but
Like, has it been overdone?
The Rumble is too important at this point. I think it makes the most sense. I think it makes the most sense to do the Money in the Bank at Mania because it gives you the most time to cash in before the next Rumble, other than just having it at Rumble. Because having a Rumble winner and a Money in the Bank holder at the same time is just difficult. So having the Rumble winner have their main event and then having the Money in the Bank winner carry the briefcase, even if they cash it in on the next night, Raw after Mania or whatever, like, having them at the same time is just difficult from a storyline perspective.
I also have one more prediction.
Let me add on to what Zach said, and then all you, Eddie. Money in the Bank became overdone the second we started saying somebody was on a Money in the Bank run. Because that is a flagrant oxymoron.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was never meant to be that way.
No.
It was meant to be the surprise of somebody who you wouldn't think would be on a run gets the
Right.
Money in the Bank.
That, like, when I understand what's being said, but if somebody that wasn't one of the three of you was like, oh yeah, Damian Priest's Money in the Bank run has been lackluster, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The fuck is a Money in the Bank run? He hasn't cashed in yet.
Yeah, it means nothing if you don't.
Yeah, I do
Just
agree.
words.
If you're comparing past Money in the Bank winners and what they did with the belt, or not with the belt, with the briefcase, just a good example was this last week against Drew McIntyre and Seth. It was at the end of the match, Seth is in the middle of the ring, and yes, he just won, but then you just have Damian standing on the outside.
Dude, it was crazy because I was literally watching that, and Michael Cole said something along the lines of, well, no cash in for him tonight. And I just look at my significant other and I go,
him?
yeah, I look at my significant other and I go, why? It's literally any place, any time. That's it.
That was.
I'm waiting for them to take advantage of, like,
The 24/7 hardcore title.
yeah, I'm waiting for them to take advantage of, like, oh, the champ's asleep, bring the ref in. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
They did that with the hardcore title
The
so many
champ
times.
is
When
Dave and
Brock
Buster.
Yeah.
When Brock Lesnar won the Money in the Bank, that's when I knew it was.
That's when they stopped using it to promote people from the mid card to the main event.
Yeah. But Eddie,
Yeah. Eddie,
Close
take
us
us out.
close us out.
Of course. It is Dami's year. He deserves a treat, and it looks like the women's tag titles aren't really going anywhere right now. Sorry, Katana. Sorry, Caden. But Dami needs a treat, and Mommy could always use more treats, so it's finally time for them to win the women's tag titles.
Dami don't think you're kidding. I think that there is a not 0% chance that by the end of the year, Rhea and Dominic are the women's tag team champions.
Bingo. Tommy always needs a treat.
All right. Well, since you're rambling about that, why don't you go ahead and take us through the socials as well?
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Tune in to us each and every week on Spotify, Apple Music, and Podbean.
Beans. All right. Anything else before we jump out of here, gentlemen?
You know what Damian Priest's real problem is? He wasn't ready to get active. But you know who's always ready to help you get active? Our new sponsor.
Hold on.
And that's the end.
All right. Thank you guys for having a conversation. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and we will see you soon.